Hold on, make sure to watch parts 1 to 50 in the description before you watch this video. To refresh your memory, our MC eliminated the Abyss Fire Spirit, and of course, he went to escape the Secret Realm, and these demons wondered why it was disappearing. Some people come out, and it is our MC summons carrying the bodies of their allies, and he says you won't be able to escape either. He uses some corpse explosion, and these guys just got wrecked. Nonetheless, on his way to actually leave, some monsters attack him, the Abyss Sword Demons, and these guys are stronger than usual. We see them charging out our MC, and he can't throw the corpses out, and so he uses his mages to start up a huge tornado-like structure, and these demons look like they don't even care as he go right through it. He says both of them are at a stalemate, but he doesn't have a flying band skill which can really affect the trajectory of this battle. He says those demons flew over from that direction. He really wonders if there's something going on there. He then says, you know what, I'm gonna take a look, and I wonder if there's a demon lair there of some sorts, and we see a lot of explosions begin to hit our MC summons. They say our attack's too weak, we can't deal any damage to this dude's summons, and they then begin heading towards a certain direction. They say chase after him, and after a couple minutes, he is surprised as he emerges out of the bushes to see there is a city in the abyss, and he can feel the aura of the demons. He says, let's make the city a city of ruin, and all the demons wonder, how do we stop this dude? We see the barrier around the city get shattered, and he says, throw me over there right now. They then use the swords to launch our MC as he jumps up. Our MC still has a skeleton armor just for safe measure. The barrier is fixed, and these demons say, the summoner went in, but there's no point in blocking his summons. He then summons them back into the summoning space, and he's like, wait, it's over. He then summons them inside of the city, and they're just going on an absolute rampage. We see these demons getting wrecked one by one. The look of his eyes is that of somebody who has gone absolutely days without no food. There's more fresh corpses. Hands in the pocket as usual with the skeleton armor around him, and this demon wonders if it's finally over. We see our MC summons walking out of the city, and we find out the Abyss demons usually attack the humans and destroyed cities, but it is our MC's turn as he is now leveled up. He says nobody will be spared, and he also sees an Abyss City teleportation formation, and he wonders if that's what they use to teleport to cities. He says that's it, that makes sense. Because our MC is a human, he has the demon core to fake his aura, so he won't be able to use the Abyss teleportation formation. We see some stones begin to light up in front of him, and he really wonders where is he going to be teleported to, and it's probably going to be a random city that sounds like one. We see the monsters and the demons wondering which city he went to. They all say as they rush away, report it to the Lord Demon King quickly, and I like how our MC didn't even attack these flying dudes. Anyways, he chose correctly in this purple city of ruin. Summons his armor and his skeleton army, and these guys are like, what's going on? Where did these skeletons come from? He sees a flying demon and as well as a barrier as the skeletons just charge forth and wreck them all. Our MC is absolutely cold and heartless, and he says, how did a human actually come into the abyss? They mention everybody. We need to mention this to the Demon King. Hurry up. But there is an explosion right there because our MCs use corpse explosion. All the demons say, we gotta get out of here, run. But then we see the red chains of death, I'm just going to call it that from now, and they are wrapped by each one. He says, if I don't eliminate you today, humans will be the one to suffer, and that is true, and our MC's low-key about to look like Aaron soon, guys. We see the city right here. It is the Demon Royal Capital, which is managed by the Demon King himself. We see people rumoring how bold a human massacring the city. Are you kidding me? Our MC summons are still going on a rampage. However, we see new demons with this blood sword about to attack our MC summons. He says in the barrier you have nowhere to escape, which is true, so he uses corpse explosion of the other demons, and there is another explosion. I'm gonna guess our MCs use this skill like at least 50 times. He says, I wonder if the demons ever thought that this day would come. Level 39 Necromancer, and he's one step closer to level 40. He is in the teleportation circle, and the destination has changed. He says, it reacted. Let's see how good the demons over there are. He has an Abyss teleportation stone, and he wonders if there's going to be a dragon's den. And come on, MC, I think you're getting your hopes up. He arrives at the Demon Royal Capital, and he is suddenly hit to the stomach, but he uses damage transfer, summon health link, and he summons his undead army. He uses Legion heal on his corpses, and he is a bit surprised by what he's looking at. The guy says, "You survived my punch." It is a four-winged bull king, and this might be the strongest enemy our MC has faced so far. He says, "Wait a second, this isn't the demon king. I would have been already dead," and that is definitely true, guys. The man says, level 39? No way you massacred the cities. You survived one of my punches. You must be hiding your level. He says, "This guy is just a double of the Demon King wannabe, and so I stand a chance. I want to try and fight it." Enhance troops as he used a primordial rune on the back of his right hand. They then begin to get charged up, and the Minotaur or whatever this guy says, "You dare to attack in front of me? How are you going to take this hit?" Our MC uses Explode as we see it right here. Some of his skeletons, some armors are cracked up, and we find out that our MC is not dead yet, and he uses Legion Heal saying, "Wait, you want to eliminate me? You're not even qualified to do such a thing." The Minotaur says, "How dare you look down on me?" We are now back at the city and we see him powering up, Summoning Seal. Our MC says, "I'm not afraid of that stuff anymore," and he is immune for 30 minutes to all status effects, and the cooldown is around 12 hours, which isn't actually that bad. We see our MC getting attacked, but of course he's chilling right here. He launches up a corpse explosion, Wadoosh, and he says, "What? How can the Summoning Seal be ineffective? You are not level 39, bro. Stop lying." He then charges towards our MC like the typical attacker in any anime or manhwa. He says, "I thought this guy was never going to come down." Gather the corpses, and he just tosses them. He says, "Eats my fist," and you see our MC's skeleton armor become shattered. But since he has a summon health link, there is damage transfer. Legion Heal, and all of them are fine again. All the corpses are in the air. He uses Corpse Explosion. There is a huge explosion, but he is still fine as he goes to punch our MC. Our MC is getting hit back and forth, and of course he's spilling out blood, and he mocks him saying, "Come on, did you skip your meals or something?" He then goes to punch our MC for the final blow, but then we see corpses right behind him and they explode once more, and of course he is bleeding from his mouth and nose now, wondering why he can't beat our MC to death. Our MC is on the ground, Our MC looks beaten up for the first time in the series. He says, "It won't feel great to be damaged by your own corpses, right, you demon?" And oh my gosh, corpse explosion. We see this guy literally about to get incinerated, and just like that, he took off that four-winged savage bull to absolute oblivion. And this is actually the first time we've seen his shirt ruined, and dude, finally we see our MC have a challenge. Suddenly he is shocked for some reason, and the main body of the Demon King is coming. He said, "Okay, I need to get a bit greedy." He uses the Poison Star Ring, and pretty much what this is that the power of his troops will be greater, and we see poison affect all of these demons, and they are dying. We see this dude in the flesh, and look at this guy. He looks 10 times more broader, and he kind of looks like Guts for some reason. He definitely looks spooky with all that hair on him as well. He's looking at what happened, and he just yells out, "I want you to die." He uses Savage Bull Charge, and this guy looks like he just got drawn by another manhwa artist because it's so different. But our MC says, "I'm not dumb enough to fight with the Demon King," and he teleports away as the ground he was previously standing on got shattered, and our MC teleports to the secret area that Master Bai and Meng and Wen are at. We see this sort of purple aura, and our MC is shirtless, and dude, he looks so sick in this position. He says, "What did this young man do? He has such a terrible killing aura," and our MC is going back for revenge, and maybe bring Master Bai and he might destroy that Demon King in an instant. He says, "Senior Meng, I'm back, and Master." He says, "What did you do in the abyss?" He explains everything that happened while this aura is still floating around him, and Meng and Wen says, "What? You eliminated the four-winged Savage Bull King's double? You've got to be kidding me." He says he relied on the primordial rune and his newly awakened talent with an immense number of demon corpses. He killed it because of corpse explosion. Meng and Wen is like, "Dang, bro, it always has been demons massacring human cities. I didn't expect that." And Master Bai is like, "Dude, that is so ridiculous." He says your evil aura is too abundant, which is not good, and it will have an impact on your heart, and because he's level 39, he shouldn't challenge any dungeons right now, and he shouldn't undergo the job change. He says, "I will follow your arrangements, and this is true. Let's go WMC." And he says, "I'll come to find you 2 days later. Come on, go and rest and relax." He then says to Meng and Wen, "Come on, dude, you want me to find that guy?" He says, "Aren't you willing to put that little bit of pride for young Lin?" He says, "Fine, you underestimate me. Genesis Institute. Our MC, bro, did the art change? Our MC actually looks so sick here. They say the aura around him is so terrifying, and our MC just reads some books saying, this should calm my heart and soul. He says, I can't completely remove this terrifying intent from the roots, and we see this thing just floating above him. He says, eliminate all of these demons. But he has to shake his head because, yeah, our MC cannot become like Guts, bro. Maybe in the future, though. 3 days later, he's still reading, and Bai Yi Wan says come over, and it seems like he gave him an extra day. He says, I'll bring you to a certain place. We are now in the land of blood, and our MC is shocked by this feeling. He seems like the aura is actually exuding off of him, and look at him, he kind of looks like Hisoka now with his eyebrows and the hair down. He says, do you know where this is? It's the same as a Yuan battlefield in Eternal Trials. This is not a territory of humans, abyss, or dragonkind. It's the land of blood. He says, can this place eliminate the killing aura from my body? He mentions, yeah, there's a bloodthirsty creature here. Fridge you, Bai Yi Wan, you are so annoying. We see his sword coming towards them, a huge one, and he says, come on, you old creature. If you dare hurt my disciple, I'll break your bones. We see the sword going up against Bai Yi Wan's fist, and it shatters our MC skeleton warriors just from the shockwaves, and yeah, that goes to show Bai Yi Wan is still OP, guys. Anyway, he says, are you crazy? What are you doing? Come on. He wonders if this really is a deity level powerhouse, and they're going back and forth. Anyways, we see the sword come into the man's hand, and our MC is shocked for some reason. It seems like that is a creature, and he says, I should have not come to find you, you really are mean. Our MC says, I don't care if he's a deity level. If he's my enemy, I will eliminate him. Enhanced troops, our MC brings out his summons, and he then goes to attack this guy in the air. He says, level 39. You think you're that intimidating, huh? And this guy looks like another veteran of the battlefield. Lin Mo Yu uses slow curse, and he definitely looks out of it. Quang Shen says, a curse, huh? He breaks the curse very easily, but Soul Blaze begins to attack on his face, and he's like, what the heck is this? He says, what is this? It's so painful. It's targeting my soul. And he's like, really? There's poison too? We see flames and lightning attacking Quang Shen, and he lashes out his sword, saying, you really are something else, Lin Mo Yu. There is a hand on Lin Mo Yu's back, and it is Bai Yi Wan telling him to keep your skeletons away. Lin Mo Yu apologizes, and Bai Yi Wan explains, you old monster, come on over. He then goes towards them, and he says, so this is your student, huh? Bai Yi Wan explains, yeah, not bad, right? He says a mere level 39 dares to attack a deity level expert. Come on, he doesn't know how to spell death. We find out that this is Yan Quang Shen. Of course, he's a level 95 Divine Warrior, which is a divine class. We see an image of him absolutely bloodlusted, and he's somebody that people read about in books. He's also the same level as Bai Shen, and Lin Mo Yu is shocked that he is here. He bows down, saying Junior Lin Mo Yu greets Senior Yan, and Yan just looks back to Bai, explaining why the heck did you bring him here? He says, you know what, this dude actually took out too many demons and now is being corrupted by killing aura. Bai Yi Wan explains, I think you're dreaming about my treasure. You'll never get that. And Quang Shen says, really dude, come on, there's no point in keeping it. Quang Shen says, I could actually negotiate if it was somebody else's disciple, but because he is yours, I won't. And Bai looks kind of mad, saying, come on dude, you're crossing the line. He's the best genius among everybody, and don't you want to know how he got that aura? He then begins to walk away, explaining that has nothing to do with me, but in his head he really is wondering how this dude got all of this, and that aura exceeds his level. He says, as Quang Shen is walking away, he massacred 3 demon cities after going into the abyss world alone. Quang Shen comes to a halt, and he looks back like, wait, what did you say? Bai even says that he took out a demon king's double, and Lin Mo Yu explains, yes, that is all true. I killed the 4-winged savage bull king's clone by using the poison star ring. Quang Shen says, oh, I see, even a level 60 demon would find it hard to even evade that attack or go through it. And he says to himself, I would not be able to do that at level 39, so this man is more impressive than him and Bai Yi Wan as well. Quang Shen says, fine, I agree. However, he needs to be my disciple, and Bai just says, yeah, no problem. And they're like, wait, what? Did you hear me clearly? He explains, come on, this is nothing. It's normal for geniuses to have multiple masters, and then he hugs Quang Shen. And he tells him, come on dude, you must keep your word. And Quang Shen feels like he just got tricked by Bai. He then attacks him with his sword, but Bai blocks it, explaining, I'll leave Lin in your care, and just like that, Quang Shen says, come on Lin, come with me. We now see a very beautiful goblin hut of some sorts, and he explains that he needs to stay there for the time being. And he says, what about the killing aura master? He tosses him a stone, explaining, try to put all of your aura inside of it, and you must learn it by yourself. This is a domain divine stone, and it can form domains. He holds onto it tightly, wondering how he's going to control it, because the killing aura of Master Yan is so abundant, yet he can control it in a single blink of an eye, and so Lin Moyu is determined on how to find the way to suppress it. Lin Moyu says that my master's killing aura can be released and materialized, and I wonder what he did to control it. He says his strongest attribute is obviously spirit, and he wonders if he uses that to control his aura. He says if my master can do it, then so can I, and we see this crystal in his hands, this golden aura, purple aura, even red aura, and it begins to go around him. Master Yan Guangsheng says, using your spirit to control it, huh? I hope you really do succeed, Lin Moyu. He is trying super hard as we see him stay here for hours and even days. Guangsheng says, days have passed, this man's willpower truly is strong. This is expected of that old man Bai. 10 days later, that is quite a bit of time, we see some sort of green and black aura come out of him, and he actually succeeded. He awakened skill, Slaughter Domain is unable to be used at his current level, but Guangsheng is surprised because he actually did it. For him, it took 3 months to control the aura, and in 10 days, that means Lin Moyu's spirit is absolutely off the charts. Guangsheng says, you don't need to be so formal with me, and do you have the domain skill? Because Lin Moyu bowed down. He says, yeah, Slaughter Domain, but I can't use it yet. Guangsheng says, oh, okay, that actually isn't too bad. What you need to do right now is inject all your aura into this domain divine stone, and then you can use your skill once it's full. Guangsheng just leaves, saying, alright, take care, man, I'll leave the rest to you. He even says to himself in his head, I should do something for him, because this guy is so hardworking. Old Bai asks Mang An Wen, do you really think Lin Moyu will be successful? He says, really? You're still worried about him? You know, Quang is over there, what's there to be worried about? He says, I let him get a good disciple so easily, is it worth it? Mang An Wen mentions, come on, you should know and be prepared for young Lin's second job change. It's time for him to level up, and he needs the best support to do that. And Old Bai says, don't worry, I've prepared everything, I'm just waiting for him to come back. Another 10 days later, and our MC has just been here meditating and focusing his energy into this place, and all of the killing aura has been injected, and he looks kind of sad for some reason. He says now with an absolute big smile, and his aura is going crazy. This is absolutely amazing. He won't be affected by the killing aura no more, and Guangsheng is watching from afar, and he senses a stench of blood, and it's even worse than some in demon cities. He then tosses it to Lin Moyu, telling him to eat it, and Lin Moyu just eats this flesh without even a question, and Guangsheng says, really, you're not going to ask what it is? And he says, nope, master gave it to me, so there's no need to, but Guangsheng is in pretty bad shape. 10,000 miles in this land of blood, there's a wild beast called the bloodthirsty python. And that's the meat Lin Moyu is eating. He says master went to fight those beasts, and he is covered in injuries, even a slice on his bicep that looks quite deep. He says, don't worry, that's really nothing. Those bloodthirsty pythons are at the deity level of wild beasts, and so he needs to sacrifice some of his flesh. And dude, I thought Guangsheng was going to be a villain, but this dude just seems so chill and an old head just like Old Bai. He also says, get ready to enjoy it after you're finished eating. And Lin Moyu wonders, huh? Enjoy? And in a second, his entire body lights up in pain, and it's like being pierced by 1,000,000 needles, and he's like, dude, I want to cough this out, what the heck? Guangsheng explains, hehehe, you've used a miracle potion, right? All attributes increased by 200, and that is made of the flesh and blood of the bloodthirsty python, so its effects are weakened. If you want better effects, you must eat it directly, and we see Lin Moyu just suffering. And Guangsheng says, this is a top level thirsty python flesh, and it can't even be compared to that mere potion. If he undergoes a second job change, the benefits will be absolutely crazy. And look at his strength stats, they just went up by triple, maybe even 4 digits. Okay, maybe not, but still. But our MC just on the ground looking like an absolute side character that just got hit by his own corpse explosion. Guangsheng explains, Old Bai should already have prepared that Nirvana crystal. And also, you've been to the Eternal Trials before, right? You've been to the Eternal Trials, I'm pretty sure. What is the level of your divinity? Lin Moyu says, gasping for air, level 39. And Guangsheng says, really? What a shame. Although the difference is only 1% by level, you should have gotten more. But Lin Moyu says very angrily, it's level 39. And Huang Shen drops his sword and he says, well, how did you do it? He explains, I reached the end of that secret realm. And Huang Shen says that old Bai really knows how to hide things because he didn't even tell me. He coughs to act unimpressed, saying, oh, your power of divinity is quite high. I need to change a bit of my plans. He says, are you afraid of death, Lin? And he says, I don't know, probably not. And Quang smiles, saying, if there's a chance you can become a transcendent powerhouse, but there's a 50% chance of dying, would you still take that risk? Lin Mo Yu is actually quite scared, saying, yeah, I would, but what exactly is a transcendent level powerhouse? He says to Quang Shen, yeah, I would still be afraid, but I will fight with my life. And Quang Shen says, what if you have to face life and death situations even more than once? He says, I'll do the same thing. And Lin Mo Yu really has extreme determination, and we should definitely learn from his example. He says, I really need to get stronger because I don't know how strong a transcendent powerhouse is. Quang Shen is really happy and joyous, and that's definitely different compared to when old Bao was here, maybe because they're rivals. He says, I'll tell you the plan that I made for you. Different parts of the meat have different effects. The best part of the python is the brain, then it is the heart, and the other parts of the python. It's been a long time since human got a hold of a python brain, and if he wants to become a powerhouse, then he needs to get that python's flesh again, and it will make his attributes rise rapidly. And during that job change, it can awaken a new talent, and that's actually an insane foundation for our boy Lin Mo Yu. He gets quite nervous, saying, I believe in myself and that I can do it. But then Quang Shen says he has a 50% chance of dying. Nonetheless, he just smiles happily, saying, wait here, Master will go and get you a piece of that python meat. He then goes away with some purple aura, and that kind of reminds me of Frieza or maybe Zamasu, Black Goku, I really just forgot. Then Mo Yu looks up in the air where the Master left, saying, thank you so much, Master. But wait, if that bloodthirsty python is as strong as Master, is there a guarantee that he won't be hurt? And our MC's strength rose by 1800, constitution, agility, and spirit as well. That's the craziest boost we've ever seen in the series, guys. 7 days later, and dude, Quang Shen looks absolutely beat up, bro. W for him. Old Bai would probably do the same, but I was gonna say he won't get injured as much, but maybe he will. But Quang Shen has this very beautiful golden box, and he hands it over to Lin Mo Yu. He explains a heart meat is inside. The process won't be pleasant, so enjoy it. However, he looks behind him as he notices something, and he seems to be familiar with the people who came. Lin Mo Yu looks up into the blood-red sky, and he tells him some old guys from the Empire came to also get the meat from the mirror for the miracle potion, and you know, the beasts that they're hunting, their tempers aren't that good. He then lifts Lin Mo Yu up with a single finger or a thought, and he says, let me come show you this to widen your horizons of your thinking. They then go there in an instant, and even Lin Mo Yu is absolutely scared by the speed, and he says, so this is the speed of a deity level person. We see a very beautiful ship here, like it is straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean. We see some weird looking guys here, but they are the Grand Elders of the Empire. Lin Mo Yu wonders what they are, and if they are deity level experts. Quang Shen says, nope, they are all false deities. He explains, all of them were stuck at level 89, and they relied on a potion to get to level 90. And so their potential has been sealed, and if they do not fuse their skills, they wouldn't even be considered a deity level powerhouse. There's a huge difference between false deities and actual deity levels, but they are both level 90. However, the real one, the not false one, could crush them in a 1v10, and that sounds appealing. They then land on the ship without an invitation, and those elders are like, oh my gosh, it's Quang Shen, let's go. And they are definitely happy to see him here. Also, but guys, Shen means deity. Same for Bai Shen, it means deity. So he says, whatever you guys are doing, don't worry, I brought my disciple to spectate this battle. We see a very beautiful lady come here, and this is Dong Fangyao. She is Shensha's Empire's princess, and Dong Fangyi's youngest daughter, who I'm assuming is the king. She then greets Lord Quang Shen, mentioning that my father has always mentioned your name. He says, huh? Why did he mention me? I only remember beating him up a couple years ago, and he cried for his mother and father. She says, oh no, my father always said you're the pillar of our empire. And yeah, that seems kind of funny. Anyways, he says, are you here to get the bloodthirsty python meat? And they say, please excuse us, Lord Quang Shen. It is true. But however, he says, yeah, dude, don't even mind us. We're just here to watch. She also, Fang Yao, notices Lin Mo Yu, saying he was accepted as a disciple by Quang Shen. That's very intriguing. Are his talents truly that good? And Lin Mo Yu just has a poker face on, not even making eye contact. Something then begins to make the ship rattle. It seems like the monster is here, the bloodthirsty python, and look how huge this guy is. Anyways, he says, we're only here to watch a show, so don't expect us to help. They put up a barrier, and the python is pushed away since the barrier is actually lit up with weapons. It then actually attacks its scales and does some damage. It lets out a furious roar, and it goes to hit the ship with its tail. And Lin Mo Yu is covering his body, wondering the strength of a deity level monster. Is this it? I can't even follow the attacks with my eyes. One of the elders says that he will stabilize the barrier, and we see a huge flaming sword arise. It goes to attack the python, and lightning strikes it, but it seems to not even be that much affected. The Grand Elders then leave the ship, or this awesome boat, I'm just gonna call it a pirate ship, and they go in front of the monster. They make a circle formation, and Lin Mo Yu says, so this is how top level professionals fight. But Quang Shen says, nope, listen kid, I know what you're thinking, don't take this too seriously. A real deity level battle isn't even fought like this. Deity level powerhouses are so strong, and they are so precise in their attacks, and they don't need any teams to use their full combat power. And he explains that Bai Yuan will teach you when the time is ripe. And yo, I like how our MC isn't too strong, that he can still have mentors, and these mentors are veterans of the battlefield, and they will be helping him to become the strongest and protect Earth. The python is about to get these 10 attacks from these elders. We see a huge explosion, but it manages to hit its tail. They see the opening, and there is a huge sword that arises from the pirate ship and barrier, and it slices the tail off. A moment a piece of it separates from the main body, it will discard all of the impurities, leaving only the essence, and that's why it is actually great to have it, although this is the lowest quality, and it only feeds 5 people. The monster is absolutely aggravated, and Lin Mo Yu is wondering, Master, do they really have a chance to slay that bloodthirsty python? Quang Shen says, nope, unless they come and beg me for help, and he laughs. The elder says, everyone, run, run, run! Dong Fang Yao is shocked, and she wonders, it doesn't seem difficult to slay the bloodthirsty python. Why are they retreating? And they wonder if this girl's spoiled because she has no idea how powerful this thing is. Even our MC Lin Mo Yu doesn't have an exact grasp of it. The python lets out a ferocious roar, and this red light begins to emanate behind him. The elders say, we're going as fast as we can, but it is being sucked in. This pirate ship might go now. Quang Shen explains, do you think they would be able to escape? This is a true show, and the princess and the elders would have died now. Lin Mo Yu notices something, it is the smell of blood, and he feels like eating something. This is a level 96, dude, level 96 deity eating blood python, and look how huge this one is compared to the other one. It grabs the boat by its claws, and Fang Yao is wondering, what the heck is that? The elder says, come on, ask Quang Shen for help. This is so funny, bro. This is awesome. Quang Shen just laughs, bro. This guy reminds me of All Might. And he says, do you guys think it's that easy to get the bloodthirsty python meat? Come on. And this is the one that Quang Shen was fighting this entire time. He says, since we're all from the Shenxia Empire, I will help out, as his aura circulates around him. He then leaves the boat, and look at him, guys. This dude is locked in. He lets out a slash, and all the elders are like, let's go, we're saved. He manages to cut its finger, and it gets super angry, and lightning begins to start to form around it. The ship is going as fast as it can to escape, and Quang Shen is, dude, this guy is just happy and smiling, and we see yellow aura, red aura, and blue aura. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I think his aura colors are better than Bai Shen, and that's just my opinion. He launches thousands of slashes towards the beast, and it is getting cut right through the flesh. We see lightning strike, and Quang Shen is just giving this guy a treat. He then uses a power-up, and we see light blue cold energy circulate around him. Lin Mo Yu is like, what? I can't believe this. He's ignoring all his skill cooldowns and using whatever skill he wants, even powerful forbidden spells like it's nothing. And Lin Mo Yu is frozen, saying my skeleton armor, health link, and all of that would be useless. And yeah, I think Quang Shen would definitely just one-shot Lin Mo Yu right now. And even his general summons. He gets nervous, saying I didn't expect that I almost attacked such an existence from before when Bai Shen brought him there. And Fang Yao says, this is Quang Shen? His power has reached this stage? What the heck? He is going toe-to-toe with this monster, and the monster tries to launch out a final flash from its mouth, but he blocks it with his sword, and he is taking all this damage easily. He says, I understand now. He launches a slash and it cuts him sort of near the upper neck. He says, wait, that's a wound caused by Master? This is the beast that Quang Shen had to fight for, MC, not that little tiny one that those elders fought from earlier. Quang Shen is going to grab our MC, saying, hey, let's leave. And he says that guy has gone mad. He says a small one is called a bloodthirsty python, while the evolved one is called a deity-eating blood python or serpent. He says, what do you have to think about witnessing that battle? Lin Muyu says, honestly, I don't know whether the ancient earth dragon is stronger or this, but Quang Shen is surprised, saying, what? Ancient earth dragon? Have you seen it? And he wonders if Master really knows about it. He takes off his fur coat or jacket, saying, yeah, this scar accompanied me for many years, and oh my gosh, this is crazy. He wonders why he didn't heal it, since obviously a deity level powerhouse could. He says, I've challenged the ancient earth dragon 3 times. The first, he was level 69, and he ventured into the core with a team of similar levels. They fought and fought, but nobody even dared to make a move because they just glanced at a distance. And yeah, now that I think about it, this RMC just fought a mini version, but this one looks so crazy. The second time, he was level 89 and was 1 step away from deity level, but he returned to the upper layer's core area, and 1 strike was all it caused to immediately get him out of that place. He says the second time there was no scar, but the third time when he was level 93, he returned to the upper layer to exact his revenge, but then 1 strike and he got defeated, and then it spoke words saying, you're too weak. And he remembers that moment and he says it was quite embarrassing. Anyway, Lin Muyu says, that dragon was so powerful, even my master couldn't take it on. He says, how did you meet it? He explains, this is what happened. Quang Shen is quite impressed because the boss monster is somebody who speaks, and also he wanted to make a deal with him. So he tells Lin Muyu to visit the core area when he's stronger. They arrive back at their hut, and honestly guys, I would live here, just not in the blood area, because look how chill this hut is, or maybe just for vacation. He says, it's about time you returned. This place isn't suited for staying too long because of the killing intent all around. Look at Lin Muyu, dude, he smiles because he's obviously so grateful to Quang Shen. And he knows that the Divine Stone is probably not ordinary, and so Quang Shen sacrificed a lot for me. He then pours him tea, and he kneels saying, this is for you. Quang Shen smiles, and dude, Quang Shen is becoming a more happy person because of Lin Muyu. Maybe he just needed some company. He says, no wonder Bai likes to keep you close. He says, alright Lin Muyu, it's time to go back. And Lin Muyu bows, saying, yes, I will take my leave. He is now looking at the sunlight and he's glad to be back in the human world, and why the heck do you have your hands in your pocket again? We see Fang Yao notice him, wondering, hey, didn't he just return from the land of blood? She asks for his name, and he just ignores them, and even the elders like, dang bro, that's cold. She says this guy has no manners just because he is Quang Shen's disciple, huh? The elder explains, princess, come on, you already ate the meat of the bloodthirsty python. That man is way too arrogant, and he must be a top genius, but you know, let's just ignore him. We are now back at Meng and Wen's sanctuary, and these dudes just be chilling drinking tea all the time. Meng and Wen notices that the aura is gone, and so old Quang took good care of him. He then asks, you're about to level up, so go ahead and level up to 40 before coming back. He says, yes, I got it Meng and Wen, and I'll do that right now. We see Fang Yao in the Hall of Dungeons, and she approaches the Water Deity Courtyard, which is level 37. She explains she is now level 36, and so this is the most suited for her as she approaches this purple orb. She then looks at the crowd, saying as long as I find a decent party with my abilities, I can definitely clear it quite easily. However, Lin Muyu arrives onto the scene and everybody is fangirling and boing over why he's here. She says, why is he here? That's the dude from earlier. These people mention, oh, it's the Divine General Lin. They begin to talk about how he is literally unparalleled at his level and he would be able to challenge a Demon Lord by himself, which is kind of true because he already did. He tells Fang Yao, please move out of the way, I need to go and level up, as she just says, wait, you were accepted as Quang Shen's disciple, this must be the reason why you're here. He says, listen, I'm actually trying to level up and can we do this talking later? She says, are you going to challenge the Water Deity Courtyard? Let's form a party. He says, no, I'm clearing it solo. And she explains, come on, leveling up by clearing normal difficulty is going to take way too long. He says, no, I'm challenging the hell difficulty. And she looks behind at him like, come on, that has to be fake. He's looking at the screen here. Nightmare difficulty, the record is 1 hour and 8 minutes. He says, no hell difficulty again, I gotta upgrade it. He tells her, I suggest you don't enter for the time being. The dungeon might upgrade in a bit, and she wonders, what does that even mean? He enters a nightmare difficulty dungeon, and people explain that this man has always cleared dungeons solo, and last time the Fire Deity Palace was upgraded by him as well. She gets nervous, saying, why do all of these people know him so deeply? He must have made a name for himself and he cleared the Tyrant Desert alone. How powerful is this guy? We see this beautiful water courtyard. This looks really cool. And these are Fountain Spirits, which are elite monsters. Strength 14k, Spirit Constitution 10k, and Agility 6000. These just look like water fish, if that even makes sense. He then brings out the summons and he explains immunity to water and physical attacks. Well, I guess I gotta bring out the mages, and he really has a legion of them. We see the fire begin to hit them, tornadoes, and all these different things, and we even see he formed a strategy. We see a beautiful pillar right here with a lady holding a trident. These pillars actually record a story, and there isn't really that much difficulty because he just cleared the courtyard. However, the water begins to come up and beneath him, and it begins to form a whirlpool, and he says, "What? Does it want me to jump in?" He just jumps in like he's Michael Phelps, and he goes down that hole. The dungeon has now been upgraded, guys, and it is held difficulty, and this place looks so cool, like he's literally in a monster aquarium. He's quite shocked, saying after quickly clearing all the monsters, the dungeon has been upgraded again. We see the water deity courtyard dungeon outside, and there seems to be trees and red roses of some sorts, and they say, "What? It's the same as a deity palace, it has been upgraded." And Fang Yao is like, hell difficulty, no way he actually cleared it. She then checks the system pop-up for the courtyard, and it really has been added. She says he's really challenging that difficulty by himself. How did he do it? I want to know everything about this guy now. We see a trident get launched towards our MC's eyes. He blocks it with skeleton armor, explaining that this attack isn't truly weak. We see all of his summons ready for battle. Some of them are hurt, and so his undead general uses Legion Heal to heal them, and this might be a huge threat. After they get healed, we see a very beautiful palace here, a trident on the right of a throne, and this is a projection of the trident. He commands his different warriors to go, and they jump towards the trident, but are all pushed back by the water wave produced by it. The mages launch some fires to no avail, and they try to slice it, but it doesn't work. We then see dragons swallow up his skeletons, water dragons, and this might be absolutely intense. One of them yells out in rage, and then a skeleton tries to slice it in half, and they seem to be doing some really good damage. It is now beginning to form more, and this is the water deity, incomplete projection level 41. It is a beautiful woman, and guys, her strength is 60,000. She opens up her eyes, and her MC exclaims, "I finally met the boss." We see a huge fire explosion try to get to her, and she is damaged a bit. She yells out with a trident as she brings it to the air, using Eternal Freeze. The skeletons are now frozen, but he smiles, saying, "It is very loud, but the power is ordinary," cause I mean bro, our MC's hard is the 10 Demon Kings probably. He uses Legion power and it removes all abnormal status effects, and they begin to get unfrozen. They then go towards the queen, and oh my gosh, we see our MC uses his chains, and these abilities so OP. They are then going to charge towards her, and just a moment later, she disappears, and just like that, he defeats the water deity projection, and 4 million XP is added. He also gets crystal shards, and 5 clear water shards, and a crystal. And he explains, I still need about 50% of XP. I need to farm this a bit more times. It's a shame I didn't get the water element gem. But then the trident begins to glow, and it is right in front of him as he tries to touch the projection. He gets the water deity key and a key to unlock the true water deity palace, a clear water gem which reduces water elemental damage by 50%, and these are such a huge W. He says, "I almost missed it, no way." He has the water deity palace key, and so there should also be an item here to actually awaken the true one and not the projection of the water deity. After looking around, he sees the water deity flute, and the 4 items are finally complete. Now he's cleared fire, water, and light, and now he needs to do wind and lightning, and I'm really hyped for lightning and wind, and more importantly wind, because bro might get caught up in a tornado. He uses a gem before heading out, and there is an uproar outside saying, "The bell rang, I wonder what the results are." You know what, there's no point in seeing the result because he's going to be first anyways. We see Fang Yao wondering why this guy just said that this man will create records every time. He's talking about Lin Mo Yu. He says because he does it all the time. She is just speechless, just like all of us, but I think we're getting used to it. His record is 48 minutes, hell difficulty level 37, that is insane. He then comes back and look at his aura. He chooses hell difficulty, not wasting any time, and the people begin to chant, "I bet his record will be less than 24 minutes. Yeah, let's bet 10,000 points on it." And Fang Yao was like, "What? This dude's dungeon clears are being used for gambling? What exactly did he do before?" And let me just tell you that this man is literally legendary. He is back at the water deity courtyard, saying it really is a shame that the Clearwater gem didn't awaken new skills, and shout out great comics, you guys are goated. We find out in Hell difficulty, the monsters and experience gained will increase, so hopefully he can reach level 40 in a few hours. 5 minutes later, he's then swimming like he's back in the Olympics, and he finally reaches the boss room. He says the most important item has been taken by him, and the others won't be able to get the gem, and of course the water deity key and the flute. We see the beautiful boss right here with the trident go to attack the summons, but there is a new record as we are back outside of the dungeon. The record is 22 minutes and 58 seconds. He's the only one that's cleared it, by the way, and people are like, let's go, he did it within 24 minutes. And Fang Yao says, hell difficulty, is that possible? She then steps up into the dungeon, saying if he can do it, surely I can do it too, and rest in peace to Fang Yao. She chooses hell difficulty, and 2 minutes later she comes out there barely surviving, and Lin Mo Yu wonders if she is alright, to which he says, yeah, I'm fine, and he says good. She then says, wait a second, where are you going? And her bro just left, and this dude got crazy aura. She says, I really need to figure out how he cleared the dungeon, and only 20 minutes later, he comes back. She says, Lin Mo Yu, please bring me along with you to clear the dungeon. He explains, with your identity, we can't really form a party, you are a princess. She says, please bring me in there, and I'll take you into the Imperial Archives one time. The Imperial Archives contain a lot of information that he cannot find outside. Even Quang Shen doesn't know everything that's stored in there. Our boy Lin Mo Yu knows that that's something he should definitely look into, and he says, I can definitely agree to those terms. She asks him, and he says, just once, right? She says, yup, just one time, promise me. And honestly guys, W Princess, she really just wants to see how he does it, and she seems respectful, which is kind of cool. They then enter the dungeon, and our boy got, of course, his hands in the pocket. He brings out his summons, and she's wondering, so this is it, huh? She sees his summons, the undead general and the mages, and they then attack. And he says, come on, stop daydreaming, let's go. She wonders, are these all your summons? He says, learn about my profession and the Imperial Archives, which is just funny. He says this is where the true water courtyard boss is at, and she says, wait a second, 5 minutes haven't even passed and we're done? He says, whatever, just jump in, and that's exactly what he does. We see the beautiful water boss, and rest in peace to her because she's gonna go again, and she's shocked by it. She says that aura is so powerful, but then he puts her up in the chains, and the skeleton mages just fry her up to a crisp. Just like that, it ends, and she is in a state of disbelief. They then begin to leave the dungeon, and Lin Mo Yu says, don't forget your promise, Fang Yao. Fang Yao is at the Imperial Archives, and she wonders, wait a second, how is this possible? This guy's only been leveling up for over half a year, and he's already level 39? We find out in the Imperial Archives you can get info about almost anybody, and he ranked first in the national exam, and broke dungeon records that have never been touched for centuries. She wonders if he has 2 masters, because she sees that he is also Bai Shen's disciple as well. She wonders, what kind of dude is this guy? When I was leveling up, why did such a figure emerge in this empire of ours? He is now at home on his bed, and he has reached level 40 as you see the crystals in front of him. He wants to fuse the fragments into the crystals first, and then make them into the elemental divine stone, and that's exactly what he does. We see he has fire, poison, earth, and light, and increases his job change chance by 20%. It then begins to merge with the crystals, and now it has fire, earth, poison, and of course light and water, and it is now 25%. Lin Mo Yu, he is a Necromancer, which is a unique class, level 40, and he has 4,000 around that for all strength, constitution, ability, and of course 26,000 spirit. He mentions after consuming that python meat, it's really time to prepare for the second job change. We see Old Bai leaning against the coffee table or the tea table, wondering, you're here, I wonder why that is so. He says, I'll bring you to your job change as a teleport in an instant, and look at this beautiful blue coloring. I love this Manhwa's art, guys. He is in the land of desolation, and there literally is nothing here. He says the elemental's power here is so thick, and it definitely materialized. And Bai just says, this is a place brimming with the most primeval power and the most comprehensive elemental energy, and this is where you'll have the best chance of undergoing his job change. Old Bai rolls his sleeve up, explaining that there exists a type of monster known as Desolate Beast. He says, don't worry, I'll take care of them though. He yells out, open! And just like that, a second job change formation was carved by him, and he obviously is a deity level formation master. We see the Nirvana crystal and also the mermaid tears, and we see this beautiful magic circle as our MC sits down in the center. We see the power surging into his body. He begins to sweat even, mentioning that the attributes are increasing, but this is quite hard, and he needs to eat that python heart meat. Hesitantly, he bites into it like Luffy just eating a big piece of meat after a good raid, and he yells out, and he says it's so painful as his body's veins begin to glow up yellow. We see an influx of light come out from the circle and above, and Old Bai says, the job change has finally begun. He says also that they're here. The red tower then begins to let off this light, and we see the desolate beast, which is a white tiger with blue eyes and paws, which looks pretty cool. Bai tells it to get lost, and he uppercuts it just like that. Let's go, guys. We're seeing Bai in action. We see Moore try to go for him, and he says, you fell into my trap. He releases 100 fists, and just like that, these guys are scared off. However, he gets a bit nervous though, saying, wait a second. Did a desolate beast lord just appear? And this thing is literally 500 times the size, okay, not 500, but 30 times the size of a normal desolate beast, and they're ready to attack Old Bai. We see them headed towards him, and he gets a bit nervous, and we find out that they possess a immortal trait, and so it doesn't matter how much he injures them, he can only force them back. He punches one just like that, and this guy just got hit to oblivion. He calls for Meng and Wen to assist him, and there is a ray of light that comes out from the tower with the eye. It then seems to blind them for a moment, and a sword just pierces one in the stomach, and they are yelling out in fury as it is very painful. It is Quang Shen, let's go! And he says, Old Bai Yi Yuan, I win this time. We see his beautiful purple slash, and all of those monsters are scared now. He says, crazy Yan, why are you even here? He explains, my disciple is here. I should be here for his second job change, what do you think? And there are more desolate beasts, and this guy's like, come on, why are you guys yapping in the middle of a fight? We see Quang Shen with his red aura and Bai Yi Yuan with his awesome, fierce orange aura, and these guys, I'm gonna call them the duo of doom. They then begin to fight, but we see our MC and he's struggling, coughing out blood and absolutely exhausted. We see a swirling lightning of green that matches his aura forming. And there is a cool, sick looking Necromancer Monarch dude, whatever this guy is, he looks way stronger than MC right now. We also see a bunch of flying bats, and he raises up his staff, which looks absolutely awesome. Cooler than our MC staff, no offense dude, his stand out his scythe. And he has literally millions of summons right behind him, and this is just a formation in the clouds. We see that he lets out an explosion, and something happens as our MC wonders what exactly is going on. The explosion actually occurs inside of his body, and a bunch of flashing different colored lights come out of his body, and there is a huge beacon of rainbow light colors. Both of his masters are like, wait a second, the first job upgrade is usually accompanied by 3 colors, but his light has 7 colors, and he wonders, is that truly what a unique profession is like? And I just realized their professions are just legendary, not really unique. Anyways, his attributes begin to rise constantly, and let's all thank Quang Shen for the Python meat method. Bai Yi Yuan tells him, Young Lin has awakened his 3rd talent, and Quang Shen says, what? What do you mean? If he uses that stone, he's going to become the first professional with 4 talents. His obtained talent is a Summon Spirit Link, where the Necromancer Monarch establishes a spirit link with summons. When the Necromancer Monarch spirit is consumed, they can transfer the spirit into their own so that it can be rehydrated or replenished. He's looking at himself like, dude, am I naked? Just kidding. He's saying my summons are incredibly strong now, and with this talent, it means that my spirit can be replenished whatever. That means it's pretty much infinity. The system says that he has obtained a new talent, and it begins to optimize his body. It establishes a comprehensive connection with summons, and oh my gosh, it shares damage, recovery, spirit consumption, and he's just standing there like, wait, this is doing it all on its own? He never expected to merge his 2 talents to become a unique deity level 1, and his second job change is successful. He is a Necromancer Monarch, and he gets the skill Bleeding Curse. And look at our boy here, Lin Mo Yu truly has become the king of the undead. The system optimizes his Slow Curse as well as Poison Star Ring. And Bai Yi Yuan and Quang Shen fended off the monsters as they say, well, it looks like it's complete, but then the monsters just keep on coming out of nowhere. There is another Desolate Beast King, and this is not going to end well. Actually, it might end up better than expected, because our MC Lin Mo Yu just teleported away with Bai Yi Yuan and Quang Shen. The monster tries to let off a laser beam from its mouth, but it seems there is a barrier on the Eye Tower, and the 3 of them manage to get away. They're back at Meng and Wen's place, and both of them are tired. He says, Old Meng, are you fine? And he says, yeah, But that Desolate King's blast was nothing to scoff at. Kwangshen says, I level up 2 more times and my Killer Aura is growing stronger. Next time I'll go and slay it. He says, how's the job changed, Mo Yu? And he has the Thanatos scythe, he is shirtless looking ripped, and he says, let me check. He is level 40 guys. His strength is 24,000, constitution, agility, and spirit are all the same as well, but spirit's 52,000, and earlier before the job change, it was only 4,000. His Thanatos scythe has upgraded, he has Soul Blaze, Corpse Explosion, Skeleton Armor, Skeleton Fang, Deterioration Curse, Poison Starburst, and Enhanced Troops, and Slaughter Domain, which is unusable right now. He can also acquire Summon Skeleton Archers, and he says all of my skills underwent changes. Power of Divinity has increased as well, where all effects of his skills are amplified by 10 times, and also he is immune to all negative status effects. And there is a lot of things to read here, and shout out to the translator because they definitely took a while doing this. Kwangshen and Bai Yiwan are shocked as Meng and Wen informs them that his attributes are higher than some level 60 legendary professionals and comparable to some bosses, and nobody is really in our MC's league. He says, bring out your summons. And our MC looks very happy or determined too, saying yes, I will. This is the Platinum Skeleton Berserk Warrior, level 40. The strength is 55,000. Dude, that is so OP. Just one summon is comparable to like level 50s. They then say, what? I can feel the ferocity radiating from it. He calls the Archmage. This guy looks so cool, dude. Look at him covering his face. He got aura. The 3 of them say, it seems like it's less impressive than the warriors. But of course, it's obviously still stronger than some mage professionals, and they're probably quite embarrassed because our MC is way stronger than they were back when they were younger. He says, we also have a new member, the Skeleton Marksman. Let's go. But he hasn't leveled it up yet, so he needs to get it to Platinum Grade later. Bai Yuan then says, you know what? Fine. Take this. It is a cooldown talisman. He has 30 uses, level 70. This is way better than the one he received last time. He says, thank you so much, master. And he says, I'll go farm the dungeons right now and not even a break. Kwangshen says, get lost, dude. This is not your disciple anymore. And Bai Yuan says, yeah, in your dreams. He is at the dungeon halls and everybody is shocked, saying, what? He has a new class? No way, he's gonna set new dungeon records. He enters the Whirlwind Plane so he can get the Wind Crystal, and it is for levels 37 to 47, and you know our MC is going to upgrade this dungeon. They then say, ooh, the Elemental Dungeon is going to upgrade now. Yeah, you guys just said what I just said. Anyway, he explains that the dungeon is quite comfortable. He brings out his battalion and is very happy that his army is looking better. The enemies are Wind Fairies, their strength is around 20k, and come on, give our MC more of a chance. We finally get to see our MC's archers for the first time in action. It launches its arrow at it, and well, it just smiles at him because it doesn't hit him. He says, I'll come back for revenge, and 4 hours later, he calls the marksman out. And they wonder why Lin Mo Yu is not out yet, because the record for the Nightmare Dungeon is 2 hours, and they wonder what's going on. We finally see the Platinum Marksman. The strength is 30,000, and this dude is ready to get revenge on those little whirlwind beasts. He launches up this arrow and it seems filled with lightning and necromancy, and GG to that wind spirit. Make sure to smash that like button if you made it all the way till the end. Also, comment down Monarch below because our boy Lin Mo Yu has become a Necromancer Monarch finally. Click on one of these Manhwa recaps too, and I'll see you guys in the next video.